Good afternoon and welcome to another Head and Heart property tour. I'm Tracy.
And my name's Pierluigi, and together we are It Casa Real Estate Agency based in Anghiari in Tuscany.
And today we're just over the border in Umbria, in a lovely town called Citerna, to show you this beautiful property called Villa Sorcino. We're so excited actually to show it to you because it's full of really interesting original features and so many details.
Not least a huge amount of floor space to play with and an entire second building that needs restructuring and make the most amazing project.
So without further ado, let's get on with the tour.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give us a like.
So aside from the truly wonderful views from this property, the access road is just spectacular. It's lined on either side with cypress trees and is the Tuscan dream, but in Umbria.
Absolutely, and what not to love about that view. Once you reach the top of the road, on the left-hand side is the gated entrance to Villa Sorcino. The land immediately surrounding the property is fenced, although the entire 5 hectares aren't.
And what a beautiful day it was when we made this video. Look at that sunshine.
Before we take you to see the rest of the land and inside the property, let's take you up to show you the setting. So a short walk from the property, you can see a cluster of houses, and within that cluster is a restaurant called Il Paese che non c'è, the Italian equivalent of Neverland.
So you're much better at geography and directions than I am, so give us a quick rundown of what we're looking at.
So here we're panning out over Tuscany. Arezzo is about 25 minutes away from the property, but as we pan we went into Umbria, and in the distance there you can see Città di Castello, which is attached to San Giustino, and then it blends into San Sepolcro, which is in Tuscany.
Okay, and beautiful scenery. You can see that there are olive groves and vineyards, really stunning.
Okay, so let's take you back down and show you a little bit more of the outside of the property before we take you on the tour of the inside.
So in the immediate area around the house you have, it's all fenced, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got beautiful pine trees for shade, and then you come through this gate. Now that building there to me would be the pool house, because when you come through these gates on the right you have the perfect spot for a swimming pool.
At the moment there are lots of pine trees, but they are not native to this area, so there would be no problem to chop them down.
A lovely cypress tree on the right, and then a beautiful oak tree ahead.
So the wider land around the property is woodland and quite big.
You can see some beautiful bamboo. It's really mature bamboo on the left that makes the most lovely rustly sounds.
To give you an idea of where the property line ends, in a moment you're going to see a car towards the centre of the page. There you go. And that's the boundary line. Whereas as we pan round, you can get a good view of the 3 buildings that make up Villa Sorcino, with the villa on the right, in the distance the farmhouse, and the nearest building is the one that Tracy rightly pointed out as a potential superb pool house.
So at the back of the farmhouse, the higher part would have been the tobacco drying barn originally, is that right?
Yeah, that would have been the tobacco barn, and the farmhouse would have been where the farmhands would have slept, whereas the lord or the owner of the land would have slept in the villa.
The roof looks good, which is always important.
The roof is not new, so it's not insulated, but it is in very good condition, and because there's an attic underneath, that acts as an insulator for the house itself.
Yeah, that's the design of those kind of buildings, isn't it?
Yeah. Obviously, everything to do with the farmhouse is to be rebuilt, restructured, and remodeled and reshaped based on the new owner's needs and requirements.
But you can see the access road actually goes up and past the farmhouse, so and there's land belonging to Villa Sorcino at the back of the farmhouse. So if you wanted to run it as a separate venture, you could have parking there so that they didn't come into the actual villa.
Yes, the farmhouse has got an independent entrance, so it can be made completely independent, and if you wanted to run it, for example, as a holiday rental, the guests could come in from a different part of the house compared to where you would come in for the villa. So there you see the tobacco drying barn that Tracy mentioned earlier, and next to it is where they would have dried hay for the animals, because don't forget this used to be a working farm.
And underneath is my favourite part of the building. There's a barrel vaulted ceiling, and it would make the best outdoor living room with a rustic summer kitchen.
I can already imagine it. That would look great.
So you can see the stairs that lead up to the living accommodation, and we'll come back to that. But I just want to point out the lovely way this garden is kind of naturally fenced with the hedging. So when you come into it, it really does feel like a secret garden. It's got lovely views from the front, and it's quite magical.
Yeah, but let's take you inside the villa now and start showing you the inside of this property.
So as we come into the house, I really want to stress, look at the beautiful bones inside this building, because there are so many. Ignore the 70s vibe of the flowers and the wallpaper. Look at those amazing original floor tiles and the arch details on each level.
Not to mention the stone steps.
Yeah.
So one thing the villa does not lack is space, and there is this big room on the ground floor, which is currently being used as a bedroom, but could be anything depending on the new owner's requirements.
And so just through here we have the bathroom for that bedroom, which is a good size. And then just to the left of here is the original storeroom.
And as you can see, it still has the terracotta tiles and beam ceiling, because it has been largely untouched. But across the corridor we have our favourite
absolutely favourite room in the house. It's the taverna, which is just fabulous. So you have a sort of a kitchenette bar area, an incredible fireplace that would be perfect for grilling meat in the winter.
Now I'm hungry.
Beautiful beams, beautiful arch details, tons of space, and an enormous table when we pan round. This room is lovely and fresh and cool in the summer, and would be so cosy in the winter with that fireplace going.
And the fact that it has its own direct access to the garden means that any sort of outdoor dining can be catered from here very easily.
Yeah, it flows really well. So you can see that beautiful table.
And fireplace. And I can already imagine us sitting around this table celebrating the purchase with the new buyers.
That would be good. I'd love to see that fire going. So moving on to the first floor.
And bear in mind that the first floor and second floor are identical in terms of layout, barring a few small changes, but it's well worth looking at the floor plans on the listing on our website to get a better understanding of the property.
So moving into the living room, or one of the living rooms on this floor, you can see gorgeous, gorgeous fireplace, and that is a vaulted ceiling with terracotta tiles underneath.
Yep.
So there are two French doors that open out onto the balcony. Look at that view.
Yeah. We're looking out over the front of the house, and you've got your own palm tree in Tuscany.
A little bit of the
No,
tropics
in Umbria.
So back into this living room, and then to the left we can go through to more living area. So this room has been opened up, hasn't it?
Yeah, the wall here on the right has been opened up to make an open plan, let's say, dining living room.
So you've got two windows plus two French doors with Juliet balconies, so lots of light here.
So just to give you a better idea and help you get your bearings, here we're looking out to the side of the property and we're basically over the entrance to the taverna.
So coming back into the dining area, which I think would make an amazing kitchen on this floor.
Complete with its own open fire.
Yeah, look at that beautiful stone, it's really lovely. And it's a working fireplace as well. Now, the kitchen is a galley kitchen. I think this space would be amazing to keep and turn into a pantry, which is kind of very much in tune with modern thinking and design at the moment.
Possibly,
Everything
or a bathroom.
kind of tucked away.
And then if we go through this door, we're back out on the landing. And through this door we have a bathroom and 2 bedrooms.
So both of the bedrooms are a really good size, this one being the slightly smaller one. Is that another Juliet balcony I see?
Possibly.
So lovely airflow and light. So through to the second bedroom, which is a beautiful size.
And this has 2 windows, one to the front and one to the side facing the farmhouse.
And then there's a second door here that leads straight through into the living room where we started on this floor.
Yep, there we go. So now we can head up to the second floor, and as we go up, just have a look at the lovely details and the arches and the stone steps.
Yeah, I really love the stairwells and landings in this house. I have a feeling of sort of an old hotel.
Yeah.
Gorgeous vaults.
Complete with a spider.
Didn't see that.
So it's very similar to the layout that we've just seen downstairs, with a few minor changes, an extra bathroom for example.
So starting to the left we have one of the bedrooms. Beautiful beamed ceilings throughout this floor, which is a lovely bonus. And then its own bathroom.
And then here we have the larger of the 2 bedrooms on this floor. Again with 2 windows, one to the front and one to the rear, facing the farmhouse. This is where this floor differs slightly from the one below, because they've added an extra bathroom, and this window that you see at the end is above one of the windows out onto the balcony.
So you can see that this room is slightly smaller because of it.
And that's the other window that would be above the door to the balcony downstairs.
I love the way the bedroom's flooded with light from the balcony.
And as opposed to downstairs, this is an actual balcony and not a Juliet balcony, so you can stand on it and admire the view.
So on to my favourite feature on this floor, which is a Narnia-esque secret doorway through a wardrobe. And it's a gorgeous room with a Juliet balcony flooded with light like the other one, and those lovely beamed ceilings as well.
And here there's a beautiful terracotta fireplace.
So back out onto the landing and you can see a galley kitchen like the floor below.
And that concludes the tour of the villa. So if we head back out from the rear entrance, we can start to explore the farmhouse. So as we mentioned before, the farmhouse really is a blank canvas, and whilst there are materials that you can recover for a restructuring, this really can be shaped into whatever a new owner wants to turn it into.
And into the secret garden we go.
And whilst you can't see it from here, at the far end of the picture is the independent entrance that would allow you to turn these into two independent properties.
So the ground floor here would have been used for storage and for animals, and upstairs for the farmhands, as we mentioned before. And here we see in full glory the beautiful barrel vaulted ceiling that I mentioned before. And now you can really see how gorgeous it could be.
The tobacco barn is divided into two towers, and this tower actually has a lovely little resident that is a barbagianni.
A barn owl. Yeah,
and
barn owl.
On quite a few occasions we have seen him when we've come to view the property. On the other side is another entrance that allows you access to the stables, where you can see the manger, where you can see where the animals used to be.
So as we go upstairs to the living accommodation, on the other side, we're going outside first.
So outside on the back you've got more land, and that means that you also have access from here where you could park cars and allow guests to access the farmhouse. And here you have one of my favourite areas, which happens to be above the area that Tracy likes best. I just think this has a, funnily enough, a New York loft feel to it. And I love the truss in the middle.
Yeah.
The door at the far end of this room leads out onto the tobacco barn, the tobacco drying barn, and it's the one that the barbagianni doesn't live in. So if you wanted to extend this floor out, you could have bathrooms there. There's plenty of scope to turn this into whatever the new owner wants.
So now we come into the living accommodation.
And remember, this all needs to be restructured, so it's about the space that you have rather than the current layout and condition.
So fireplace, lots of great ventilation through the roof.
And this floor actually used to have two accesses, one at either end. So you could, again, have more apartments on this floor and more apartments below. There's lots of, it's just very, very versatile.
I mean, this could be office space if you want to work from home, but not from within your actual home.
And here you have what was another kitchen, and that door leads out to where the cars are currently parked, although it's been blocked off. That was the second entrance to this floor.
So lovely beams and the pitched roof.
But everything needs to be restructured, so it can be turned into whatever the new owner wants.
And that concludes the tour of Villa Sorcino.
We do hope you liked it.
It's great value for money, really worth checking the website out and looking at more details. If you have any questions, just email or give us a call.
And don't forget to like our video, and we hope to see you all in Tuscany soon.
So goodbye from us.
And arrivederci.